Welcome. So today, Jeff and I talked about, uh, well, we started slow, honestly. I'm tired from not drinking caffeine.
Yeah, the
And
introduction might not really make you very enthusiastic about the podcast, but hey, hang
it
with us
gets
because we get there.
fucking good.
We get there.
We talk about 2025 and the big ass calendar, how not to really overthink your year.
hmm
A few perspectives on just being present in the moment and allowing life to unfold in spontaneity and
Yeah.
uh,
Justin failed grade one. Jeff doesn't love himself enough.
yeah, pretty much. So if you want to hear the story of me failing grade one or pushing kids down and telling them that Santa doesn't exist, listen to this fucking podcast.
Yeah, this one's for you. Let's go.
Yeah. Here's all the shame I hold around bullying kids. Well, don't be scared. I had a hole in my sock.
That's okay. Church Sunday socks.
I'm not
They're
big.
holy.
Yeah. It feels like, because I'm always running around sliding, I wear through socks real quick. Just trying to get places.
Santa didn't bring you new socks for Christmas?
No, dude. I didn't get many presents this year.
No.
I didn't want any. I'm not a big present guy.
Overrated.
Yeah. One, I think Christmas is a holiday of materialism. Not that that can't be beautiful. I don't want to ruin Christmas. But yeah, I've grappled with after learning about, you know, the establishments of money and control and how they really manipulate society. I had a hard time buying people presents, but I do love the Christmas spirit. Like, I love getting together with family and eating a good meal and connecting, and I think that's all really beautiful. I just, yeah, I'll utilize it, like the sales, for my benefit, but I'm not going to.
Well, I validate you, and I'm
Like,
on the same
I
boat.
did buy people presents. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah.
just I don't go above and beyond.
I've been called a Grinch.
Wow.
Yeah, and I dare say that I've ruined a couple
Two
Christmases.
seeds in the same pod right there.
I'm with you, bro, and I really struggle with it too. And I've done well the last couple of Christmases, but years before, I've been guilty of
Being the
not
Grinch.
sabotaging, but like being grumpy and causing a kerfluffle and kind of selfish, really. But it's probably like early into my conscious journey, and really waking up to it all.
Yeah.
And then actually this year I was reflecting on why am I so against it, and it's the establishment, but there's also probably a little bit of childhood trauma. I started thinking about, when my parents separated, like that would have been something because now there's two Christmases to go to and it's just not the same vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's always a lot to unpack there,
Yeah.
but I just get, like you said, the spirit of Christmas. Why isn't that a feeling we have every month or every weekend? Like, why does it have to be so specific to one day where the world shuts down?
Yeah.
Where you cannot have to look at your phone and worry that you have to get back to somebody. Like, it's just, there's a lot of ease around it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I've definitely gotten better, but it frustrates me for sure. But I just want to make, like, I just struggle with the entitlement of our girls. Like, why one day of the year do they just get a whack of stuff? Like, and Terry's pretty good about it, and I buy some stuff, but I mean, it just, I could go on forever.
Yeah. I So I wasn't always the nicest child about it either. When I learned that grandpa Christmas wasn't, or Santa Claus, pretty much everybody's grandpa. When he wasn't real, I went to school and let people know. And not like, I remember chasing a kid down and pushing him into rocks. And I feel really bad about it. Like, I'm not proud of the boy I was, but I was always that person that was like, well, don't you know the truth? Like, don't be silly. Open your eyes once you know. And then I remember my mom really sitting me down and saying, just because you know doesn't mean you need to ruin it for everybody else.
But here's something, like, if we're so awakened and stuff, and we've realized things the last couple of years, it does no good for us to run around shaking people by the shoulders or pinning them down into rocks and going, wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't serve a purpose, right? It actually totally does the opposite.
It does the opposite.
You know,
makes them resent you and say, fuck that guy. What does he know?
Yeah. The crazy thing, and Georgia won't listen to this podcast, but like, she is 11 and she is the smartest one in the house.
Yeah.
But yet she still believes. Like, this year, she was close to finding out, but that stupid fucking elf is still in our house.
Nice.
You know what elf in the show? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I appreciate about her is the innocence.
Yeah.
And the belief. What I don't like is we're still lying to her as she's getting a little bit older, and you know, and I think there's some trauma there for everybody too. It's like you're lied to for probably anywhere between 7 to 11 years.
Yeah.
You're being lied to, and not just about Santa Claus, but all the institutions when it comes to the holidays, right? And it's like, no wonder we have trust issues and communication issues and everything else.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she's so smart. She's just like, ignorance is bliss. Like, fuck it. I'm happy.
Or she's milking us.
Oh yeah, she's.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
The day she finds out, though, dude, like, sincerely, it's going to be devastating. She'll be.
You think?
Well, I shouldn't say. She's aware of the East. Like, that's the thing too. She understands.
I think she's going to turn around with a little bit of sass and say,
"Yeah,
thanks for all the presents, idiots."
Actually, I have to check to see if she still believes in tooth fairy and shit. I don't think she does.
She's got all her teeth?
Yeah. I don't know. Kids are wild.
Yeah, they are.
Anyway, it's
I also think I'm kind and I'm pretty thoughtful all year long.
Yes.
To the people that, you know, I care about.
Yeah.
So, one time a year.
Yeah. Like, this is just my own opinion, and like, if you're a man and Valentine's is your day and you look like a king or a knight because you do something beautiful on that day and that's really the only day, you're a piece of shit. Like, you should be treating your woman like every day's Valentine's Day. And I joke with Terry all the time in front of people too. It's like about her anniversary. Like, no, every day's our anniversary.
Yeah.
Every day's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not every day, but the theory is like, yeah, you should be treating each other like it's your last day together.
That's beautiful.
You know?
Wow, I love that. It does, you know, Valentine's is another one of those created by the establishment.
Yeah. And a lot of this is around, and I don't know all the details, but, you know, and all the history, but a lot of things that the Catholic Church adopted, things like that, is around the pagan traditions, right?
Mm. Well, they're beautiful. It's almost like reminding the people, hey, remember to be in love with your partner. Potentially that's what it was for. Because, I don't know, I think a lot of, I could be wrong, but people forget. They get lost in their lives, you know?
You sure?
Love a little bit more. Be romantic. And a lot of men aren't romantic.
No.
I bet it was created by a woman. I'm just kidding. I'm very romantic. I love love.
Or People's Jewelry, or whatever the hell that company's called.
Mm-hmm.
The Diamond Company.
Mm.
Anyway.
Potentially.
Yeah. All be marketing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Justin, it's 2025 now, and nothing's fucking changed.
Things are changing. Things are changing slowly.
I expected the next day.
Everything?
Everything.
Yeah.
would be better.
One can hope. I'm on the cleanse. I created a cleanse. To really step back from all the things that I really love. Or I potentially have dependency and I within the one day that I've been on this cleanse, I already realized that I eat to care for my body and modulate how I feel. Some might call that emotional eating, but I think it's very tactical. It makes me feel safe and I soothe myself through food and coffee and other things like that. I like things that taste sweet and delicious. Yeah, and I just feel calm as fuck. You know? What I realize about coffee is I like a thrill. Maybe that's what's come to me when I'm thinking of like, why do I want a coffee? I'm like, fuck, I just want to feel like I'm riding a high a little bit.
So for the audience, because you already eat so clean, what would be something you're indulging in that is, I mean, you're not eating a tub of Chapman's ice cream.
I went to Costco last night, so I wanted a case of sparkling water, because I love sparkling water, cold sparkling water. And I looked at the dried mangoes, and that was a tough one not to pick up off the shelf. I went to Costco, Jeff, and I bought zucchini, broccoli, bok choy, spinach, salmon, wild caught salmon, and then chicken wings, avocados. It's all green and meat. I don't know.
Jeez, so you can go crazy with dried mango.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, dried mango, potatoes. That's my jam.
Wow.
That. Yeah.
Like.
But that's well, that's why I have a six-pack 365 days a year. Because you can still enjoy food and just choose the right ones to enjoy.
Yeah.
But I miss like the coffee and so when I make my coffee, I have a little maple syrup in it, a little bit of salt. It's delicious, and that's what I miss the most.
Do you miss the coffee or do you miss the routine?
The routine, the taste, potentially the sugar.
Oh, from the
maple
syrup.
Sweetness. Yeah. What are you gonna do? I'm stuck in this for 2 weeks.
Be very interesting to see all your students to see what their reflections will be.
Yeah. Well, I'm not stuck. I'm choosing to be here, but
it's amazing what can come to mind in a day.
Yeah. I feel very calm though, which is nice.
Yeah, you feel very subdued.
Yeah, I feel like tranquilized bear of some kind.
Gorilla.
Gotta bring him into the zoo. A little bit of tranquilizer will help this guy.
Oh man. Yeah, that's good.
Is she working?
That's fine.
We got a little bit. We got some new tech we're working on here.
If you want to call it that, yeah.
So the audience has the most wonderful experience. Podcast.
It's all about them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know where to go.
You don't even know where to go?
No.
Well, that's okay. Something will come to us. I'm happy the holidays are over though. I want to get back into routine. We're starting to plan out our year, which seems like I like a lot of spontaneity, but I can see how planning your year with, maybe around one big thing and then multiple other things that you want to achieve. I think that's fine, or that's great. But we got a big ass calendar from Dan. He ordered.
From Jesse Itzler's big ass calendar.
Yeah, he ordered one. He got 4.
Oh, by accident?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So he gifted us one, which is very kind. And it's got the whole year on a thing. So we put it up right by the kitchen table. And yeah, we're gonna spend an afternoon filling that bad boy out. But it has me thinking, like, I understand, I do think, like, some things I think far in advance. Like, we've already planned all our retreats this year. Trips. But I haven't chosen any, like, feats of physical strength or challenge. Dan's doing a half Ironman this year.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely not doing a half Ironman. I have zero desire.
Zero.
Nothing inside my body. I actually had someone message me over Instagram and say, he's a lovely human being, but he was like, do you want to do a 24-hour race? Like, you just run for 24 hours. And I said, absolutely not. I have nothing to prove, and I don't want to do something that's going to damage my body to the capacity that running for 24 hours would do.
Yeah.
I know that if I was in a situation of survival, I would be able to run 24 hours, 48, 64, a lot, if I really needed to get it done, to save the children and bring, do what I had to do. So there's not a part of me that needs to test my physical grit.
No.
Because I know it's in me.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I don't have anything to prove to myself in that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I have other things to prove to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
It's almost like I'm not interested in turning off the listening of all my body's cues for that period of time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like, I'm going to fucking damage you and hurt you for this period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to.
Yeah. They've asked me if I was going to do another triathlon and things, and if I did, it might be the sprints, because they're half the distances.
Mm-hmm.
But even at that, it's just like, I have a lot of respect for those that call us do it professionally or with a little more seriousness, because it's a full-time job. Like, the amount of training required to actually execute properly and improve, like, I've already feel like my times were okay, and it's like, for me to do this again, I'm gonna have to train more than I did, and I didn't train that much.
Yeah.
But I trained enough that it took up time. So, I, like you, accomplished a couple feats of not being a swimmer, and I got through and didn't drown twice.
Good for you.
Fucking time to move on. Like, I don't know what else, why. I just, at least for me, I'm the same. I don't feel like I've been able to prove to myself physically.
Yeah.
I've worked physically since I was 13. My body can do, I'll fucking outwork anybody.
Yeah. I can see that.
To some degree. Like, my work ethic is not an issue, so.
Yeah.
And that's not projecting on anybody else who's doing these races, like that's their issue. It's not. It's just for us personally, guys like you and I, who have been in construction and we've proved ourselves physically day in and day out.
Yep.
Around, that's our narrative. It's like we don't need to do that. Mentally, maybe it's bypassing a little bit, but it isn't. Like you said, it doesn't light me up inside, like the thought of it. So why would I not punish myself, but why would I go against what my body's feeling?
Yeah.
You know, life's chaotic enough right now. Why I don't need to add more stress to the system?
Yeah.
Because it is stress.
Yeah, totally. Fuck as ever. We all had physical hangovers for the rest of the day, and then into the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Having to rehydrate, remineralize, and uptake energy again.
Yeah.
Fuck. But that's 4 hours.
That's right.
Not 24 hours.
That's right.
That's adding another 20 of ignoring the system.
Well, and I think what I've shared in previous podcasts or just in conversation is I'm proud of myself because, and I know you are too, like the way we live our lives, I could jump into a triathlon and complete it without a lot of issue because of how I live my life.
Yeah.
You know, could it be a little bit cleaner? Sure. Could it be a little more physical? Possibly. But the point is I was able to execute and not die.
Yeah,
and I completed with ease. Like it wasn't.
I was the one closest to death.
I'm not saying it was easy, dude. That fucking last 10K run, and getting off the bike, like the bike ride, like it's a challenge.
Yeah.
But we got through it, and we weren't that worse for it. But yeah. Like I kind of love Braden Usher's company's name, Train for Life. That's what it is. It's just.
Train each day for life.
Yeah.
I feel that. I train each day just to connect with myself and release some energy that I have, because I got a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Masculine energy.
Yeah.
I had to tame the beast. Each and every day, a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep him in check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I even noticed, like, I was sick last week, and the days that I didn't move, I was crawling through my skin and I couldn't sleep. And I was like, but you're sick. Like, can't you just still be tired?
Yeah.
And it was like, no. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Do you find you were like beating yourself up that you weren't moving? So actually the work was actually to rest, like to quiet the mind and go, hey, we need to...
No, it was kind of an afterthought. It was just I wouldn't be able to sleep, or I would have trouble sleeping. That was potentially because I was napping too throughout the day.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, maybe I should have moved. But I felt like, you know, that vigor where you're kind of like, God, I got to move this body.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it was after the movement teacher training, so that was called the end of November. I hadn't moved my body for a month, like consciously done anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really worried. I was thankfully not beating myself up too bad because we had a lot going on. But I know in the past I've been guilty of like, yeah, if I go a week without moving or 4 or 5 days, I'm kicking myself in the ass and feeling guilty and shame and whatever else. But my point is, even with that 4 weeks off, call it, I felt pretty goddamn strong. And it was like I think I needed the rest.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, like because I know when I've had time off before, when I've gone back, you know, you get using your legs again, and you know, whether it's deadlifts or squatting and things, and you can hardly walk. Like that doesn't seem to be the case for some reason. Whether I was just a little more conscious of that and taking it easy and just easing myself back into it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, upon reflection, I think my body was very welcome and receiving of a bit of a break, and yeah, I felt pretty strong. So I don't know. The body's interesting. Listening to it,
yep.
Watching it, monitoring it.
Being
what's it
a
need?
Relational process. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
No. I had this thought the other day, dude. I was like, I can't can't imagine not paying attention now. Like that's why I've brought up before. Like, can you be too self-aware? Like now, it's just like there's so much awareness. I can't imagine going back.
No, it'd be very stale.
As they say with the red pill, I mean, once you take it, it's like there's no going back. Once you're kind of
Yeah.
see a little bit of light, you're like, just keeps coming.
Yeah. Well, it allows for the awe and mystery,
Yeah.
Just in awe of it all. Grateful. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when in those times where before I chose to dive a little bit deeper into myself and do some introspective work and connect with myself physically and do all that kind of stuff. I always, like in those moments of challenge or when I was angry or life just wasn't going my way, I was just in, desperation and like, why the fuck is this happening to me? And I think it's quite beautiful when you get to the point where you can say, I can now interpret why this is happening to me.
Yeah.
Why it's happened to me before, because I have habits, patterns, and make similar choices that I've always made, and life is just presenting me with the results of those choices.
Yeah. Do you find yourself now when you're faced with a challenge that you're able to zoom out immediately and go, how is this serving me? As opposed to maybe having a pity party or being a victim, or does it take a few days or a week or something and you go, oh shit, yeah, this is serving me. I forgot.
No, I know that it's serving me always. It's still grappling with the human emotions of like how to solve it, how to figure it out. I always know that it's serving me, and I can usually like witness above and understand, like I can see why, maybe potentially why, if I'm in and say it's a challenge in work or a relationship I have, I'm able to step back and kind of see their point, my point of contention, where maybe we're not seeing each other. But oftentimes, man, people and stuff like that surprises you, because you're having to navigate the human emotions around it, and that's a tough one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
It makes sense to you. That's all that matters, Justin.
I think it makes sense. I feel like I get it right away. It's just it's usually solving it that can be challenging.
Yeah.
Because I'm still very human.
Yeah. I feel for me like I've gotten to a point where you wanting to get out of it isn't the goal. Like when the energy's ready to move on, it does. When the lesson's ready to move on, it does. And sometimes I find that no amount of journaling, no amount of fucking running, therapizing, whatever it might be, that cloud, that energy is going to be there until it's ready to move on. Mm-hmm. And I find right now I'm sitting in the seat of just reminding myself of my perseverance and patience and just ability to handle challenge, and like it's a trip right now, and it's the duration of time. It's like I don't want to feel like this anymore. Well, you don't get a choice. You got to sit in your shit until it's ready to move on. Like there's something there, right? And whether I'm not seeing it or it is just the process I'm in and have to deal with it. So just using a lot of perspective and trying to ground myself, and it's a trip.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. It's very rarely is it ever resolved as quickly as you'd like it to be. I think you gotta sit in the feeling of it all.
Yeah.
And find the surrender in the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I find myself going back in time and using a grand amount of perspective. Like, so here's a silly story, I suppose, but like, I don't watch a lot of Netflix. I don't really watch any TV. But I'm trying to do that now. I'm like, okay, let's watch a good show on Netflix or something or whatever, right? And I don't know, not enjoy life, but like someone put this art out there. Let's watch it.
I call it story time.
Yeah, and maybe you can chill for a fucking little bit. Turn your brain off is really what I'm looking for. A different drug to numb myself. But so I've started watching Peaky Blinders, and I know I've heard it's a great show, but never watched it.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm kind of, right into it.
Oh, here we go.
So my point in sharing that is just watching what our ancestors went through back in the early 1900s and stuff. Like, we are all so goddamn spoiled and entitled, it isn't even funny. And there's many people out there that believe we're living in the toughest of times right now, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And so when I think about, walking through the mud and the slop, or having to, scrounge for food, or, just even the simplicity of electricity they didn't have, it's just like, it sounds so silly, but those stories ground me and remind me that my life isn't so bad, and it could be worse.
How many of them are drinking coffee with maple syrup in the morning?
No, I'm fucking probably drinking whiskey.
And the violence.
Yes, and then that's the other thing too, is the violence to survive. Like
like our consciousness in that era wasn't elevated to the point where we really, they still very much believed in violence.
Yeah.
And it's snap of a finger.
Yeah. So getting a little crazy there, but the point is just trying to go back in time to recognize how much I have to be grateful for and appreciate, and puts a bit of a smile on my face to recognize that it could be so much worse.
Could be so much worse.
Like,
fuck.
Doesn't make things any easier, but at least it's like yeah. I didn't have to go through that.
Yeah.
Just a little tool, I suppose, I use.
That's great. Peaky Blinders, phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the acting. It's good.
Yeah. We're watching Yellowstone.
Oh, I need to get into that one too.
Fuck, dude, that's one for you right there. You're gonna start wearing your cowboy hat. Do you got cowboy boots?
No. Square-toed Blundstones would be the closest thing I have to a cowboy boot.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Perspective.
Fuck.
Do you think that, well, I guess it's like anything. TV is just, I call it story time. I think it's one of my favorite rituals that Jess and I do in the evening. We'll cuddle up and watch whatever we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Humans love stories.
Yeah. And here's a trip too, like, and it's funny how things show up in your life. Like, I also find, like, the main character, Thomas Shelby, like his stoicness and his commitment to his family, right or wrong, how he handles it, but his ability to remain calm, I'm actually tapping into that.
Nice.
And I'm using it to empower me just to be quiet and be still, and ride out the storm, and to the point too where it's like I've been feeling so much lately, and I've been trying to process it, and there's conversations with my wife Terry, and and even I think I mentioned to you in a voice note, but like the idea of going to men's circle today, I don't fucking feel like I need to share anything, because if I continue to talk about it, it just continues to propagate and ruminate. So it's like I'm already dealing with it. There's nothing to talk about. Mm-hmm. Just fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
So for me personally, with where I'm at, it's just like
less is more.
Less is more. Bring it on. I'll just deal with it. I have the ability to deal with it inside. I don't need to
Yeah.
keep talking about it, I hope there's enough context there. Like, I don't know if I need to share everything, but yeah. I would just say we're there's someone who's close to our family who's on our way to passing, and it's heavy for our family, So there's that, and just life and the girls and business and fuck.
Yeah. God. Snowstorms.
Here's something too, dude. It's like where I'm at right now too. Life doesn't feel like I've had this much challenge. But I know if I go back to when I had my breakthrough, or had a challenge at a project, or whatever the hell the case might have been back 7 years ago, that was the heaviest shit I've ever dealt with, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is now, it's like I can't remember what Jeff actually felt back then. Because right now it feels so heavy. It's like there's no way it was as bad. It's very trippy to me to think about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You must think the world's over. Or
like, can you remember the
despair.
pain? I know you can probably remember the pain of sitting on the 404 or wherever the hell you were on the Don Valley Parkway driving home and it being anxious.
Yeah.
But I'm only imagining you've had challenges since that feel a lot heavier than that did.
Oh yeah.
Right? But at the time, in that car, your world was ending.
Yeah.
Like, it was the worst pain you were in.
Well, it was, struggle.
Right? So it's just interesting how all that shows up. It's just, it always seems to feel a little bit heavier and worse.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of the awakening journey and the soul's evolution.
Soul's evolution. Yeah, I thought about this the other day because, I still think I'm grappling with the anxiety that came back to me from the triathlon training.
Really?
Yeah, and because it comes in and out for me. And I was just reminding myself the other day, I was like, well, you've never died. You've never died from it. You've always just figured it out.
Yeah.
So it kind of allowed me a little bit more peace. But man, there's been points in my life where it feels so overwhelming, and really it kind of feels like all I can do is grapple with the emotions and the reality of what is, instead of resolving anything.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's not resolvable.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
Yeah. Goggins has this great metaphor in his book about the cookie jar, and it's, just when you persevere and you get through something and you create that strength, it's putting that cookie in the cookie jar, and then you just keep compiling these little cookies, and then when you're faced with adversity, it's reaching into that cookie jar and reminding yourself. So all he's talking about is remind yourself of how strong you are, right? If you're someone who doesn't have a lot of great memories, well, then you got to create them. You got to put yourself in those tough situations to persevere and get through it, so you can create some confidence to build that momentum in your life. And what's the other word I'm looking for? Just as you've talked about, like compound interest. Just let those little victories start stacking. It doesn't have to be big and monumentous. It's just the little things, the little details, right?
Yeah. That
add up to the big things, and then you can remind yourself. And I had to give myself a couple pep talks. It's like, not that I played the victim, but I feel right now I'm in a position where I need to take some massive action around, whether it's business, personal, and remind myself of how resilient I am. But at the same time, allow myself the grace and compassion that what our family's going through is pretty goddamn heavy right now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to grapple with. That's for sure. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I share with you too, like, I think you called me there yesterday and I brought this up, but like, For me, it's sitting I feel like I'm dead center of feeling the weight of the world and doom and gloom and just the chaos, all the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other side, in perfect balance, is all the beauty and all the love and everything that's coming out of it all, and that what will come out of it. Like I feel like I am in perfect balance, and I'm feeling the bliss at the same time, and also feeling the 1,000 cuts at the same time.
Jesus.
It's a fucking bizarre feeling. And maybe all day it's constantly just doing this.
Yeah.
All day long. Because
God.
at one moment I'm fucking in my shit, and then the next moment I'm laughing with you or something, and I feel kind of silly for laughing because of all this, but then I don't know.
How can both exist? You know?
Well, they do.
The pain and the bliss at the same time.
It's I feel like a bit of a mental case, to be honest.
Well, that's why people break. Because life doesn't stop happening just because you're having a hard day.
No.
But your ability to weather the storm is putting that another cookie in the jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Oh,
what
mercy.
a life.
What a trap. It is a trip. I think Ram Dass says it all the time. What a trip.
Life is mental.
Life is going on so much right now. Like I can't imagine what if I was because I don't really feel called to do any sort of plant medicine and shit like that. But it's like I'd be interested to know what else that would reveal. Because life feels very revealing to me right now.
Well, if you want to do mushrooms, I will take you down that journey. But every time I do mushrooms, which I don't stray far from trying other psychedelics personally, just haven't been called. But every time I'm there, I experience unconditional love. Just pure love and wonder and understanding and compassion.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of melt into the reality that, and I think unconditional love is the realization that we're all interconnected and one in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
Those are beautiful eyes to see through.
Mm-hmm.
Very healing. But that's kind of what started me on the journey, you know? Because if I didn't feel love, I think I would have had a hard time. Because I always wanted to feel loved.
Yeah.
And I found I could love myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck. Life is a trip.
Fucking right, dude. And you know, I would add to that. I actually had I'll vulnerably share. I had a bit of a realization around that the other day. It just kind of came to a point, and I actually welled up in Ari's yoga class. I was just like, I don't think I love myself as much as I think I do. It really hit me. I was just like, you believe in yourself and you have some confidence, but you really don't see yourself for who you are. So I've been doing some digging around that. Like, is it, you know, child wounds, whatever else? And of course it is to some degree, but yeah, there's just something there. I just recognize it's like, no, you truly don't. You like yourself, but you truly don't love yourself. So there's some work there.
Yeah. Do you think you could go into a mirror and say, "I love you, Jeff," to yourself?
I'm trying to think I've done that before. I know I could do it. Who knows if I'd start weeping or something, but
Well, you got to do it enough times till you believe it.
yeah.
That's the tough part.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in reflection of, you know, I love myself and I'm really hard on myself. I
Yeah.
also, you know, carry the pain of memories of pushing other little boys down because they believed in Santa Claus, and that I'm not proud of that person, I don't like that about myself, or I still hold pain over my actions. So I think both can exist,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I haven't completed the exercise, but I'm working towards, completing a list of things of cords I need to cut, things I'm afraid of or things that I need to work through. And when it comes to, not feeling seen or feeling worthy, and, compile that. And, whether I burn it or at least I just review it and acknowledge it, but get that out and see it. But I got to do some cord cutting because it's just, I feel like, yeah, there's a few things holding me back, and I can actually call it the cords. I can feel the resistance.
Wow.
And it's like, it's just time to let that go.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was in the past, or just things like you just talked about. There's things I've done in the past I'm not proud of, or,
Of course.
whatever the hell the list of things will be, and just, okay, let's let go of that.
How'd you burn it? Do you have a torch?
Fucking blowtorch.
Yeah.
Some gasoline.
Fuck yeah.
No.
Yes, you should.
Yeah. Yeah. I think burn letters are powerful.
Oh, absolutely. Let it go.
Yeah.
Know what we did last year for New Year's?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, with the group. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was great. Thanks for letting us make a fire in your
bunker.
Sand bunker.
Sand bunker.
It was great.
Oh.
Good spot for a fire.
Dude, you know what I'm proud of this year? Is that I didn't wake up hungover.
On New Year's.
And I didn't even drink.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah. It was kind of a goal of mine, as stupid as it is. But like that night we had the fire and things like that. I don't know why. And I think I was on this mission to call it quit drinking. So I was like, we're gonna fucking go out in style. I drank a whole bottle of vodka.
Hell yeah.
Which is a lot for me. I stayed up till fucking 5 a.m. burning stuff. Like
Yeah.
So one of the guys that was at New Year's,
Yeah.
I don't know if he left, but he didn't burn his letter.
Oh.
So I fucking at like 4 a.m. filmed myself
Yeah.
and had a ceremony for him. And I sent it to
The person?
I fucking sent it to them, and they love it. But like I don't know if I read it out loud. No, I might have been private. The energy of releasing it for them.
Yeah.
I could film myself burning it.
Fucking funny.
But
dude.
I was under the deck. I was finding everything I could burn.
Hell yeah.
Like scrap wood, cardboard, whatever it was.
Good time for it.
Yeah. And it was just fun. Just a little party by myself. I love partying by myself.
I love that for you.
And so I drank the whole bottle and then went to Ari's New Year's intention yoga flow. I was fucked. I think I was still drunk.
You were, for sure.
Yeah. I show up in the studio into class with glasses on, and I'm just fucking a mess. And dude, actually, this is a good
You look like a rock star.
This is a good cookie in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
You want to talk about being hungover and doing downward dog? No bueno.
Yeah.
It was tough. And so at the end of that class, we wrote ourselves letters and gave them to Ari, and then she mailed them. I think it was like 6 months later or whatever, whenever she felt the need to mail them out. And yeah, it was a comical read. But
That's great.
there's a note in there just like, I do not want to be hungover on New Year's again. Like that is not something I want to do.
That's fun.
So I accomplished a small goal.
Yeah. I wasn't hungover, but I felt a little bit off. But I had a great little time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some good belly laughs that night. There was some good medicine.
My goal was just be pure comedy, make people laugh.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. Someone getting high off Benadryl, that was probably a highlight.
Yeah. That's even possible, but
I didn't know it was possible.
yeah. Fuck, it was funny. I love that.
Yeah.
It's the right group of people, you know.
Oh, mercy. So do you think, because I was thinking, to circle back on the big ass calendar, do you think it's going to serve you well? Like I've been contemplating it.
I think it'll serve Jess well.
Yeah.
What I really what I realize about me is, like, I think it'll be great to keep track of things. Um, but I'm very just like artistic. I flow with life. I'm constantly like adapting or just moving on the feeling I'm feeling that day. So I don't really plan much. Um, but I think it's a good thing for me to get into.
Yeah. I think like you, I like spontaneity, and even life presents the spontaneity. Like something at the club
Yeah.
can challenge us, or or even our girls. Like I just I struggle with the idea of being so structured that you just wake up in the morning, you just do your to-do list, and then it's this week and saying, okay, I've got this coming up, so I've got to do this. It's like I don't I don't know. That could work for some people, obviously, but I don't know if it works for me. I actually want the rest of this month. There's some things I want to accomplish, so I plan to structure my day, and whether that's having in time for some creation, and then actually maybe going to school in the sense of listening to a Paul Chek podcast or Zach Bush or something, taking notes, like
Mhm.
actually really being in tune with the
sitting down.
podcast, and not just driving down the road and listening to it, like really go to school on it. So yeah, I have some things I'd like to do. I'm going to see how that structure works for me, but I don't know, dude. Sometimes the phone rings, you got to take the call, and there goes an hour. Or
Batman.
one of the girls gets sick, and they got to come home. Or there's a pop-up volleyball practice, and you got to take. It's just like, for me, it would potentially stress me out.
Yeah.
In the sense of being so organized. It's like, well, ugh, I can get that done. Now what do I do?
It's gotta let it go.
So.
But then that's also momentum in the letting it go trap.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's honestly, you have to find that balance between the two.
Yeah. What I would say though about like having those larger goals or ambitions on a calendar, like I did find the knowing that I was doing the triathlons and stuff, like it kept my nose clean in the summer. Like I was, I definitely tried to make sure I was eating clean, and I wasn't overindulging and drinking or something, and knowing that I had to train instead. So I think it was actually pretty healthy to have some of those things.
Yeah.
So maybe, but just the idea of, I don't know, truly committing to something huge physically, I don't know.
You might not be in the energy of it yet.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too, dude. What I'm recognizing too is I'm enjoying sleeping in a little bit, and that might be till 7 or something. But like, yeah, we're all hibernating right now. Like the winter months, like it's hard to get up when the sun's not out. It's hard to get going.
Yeah.
It's hard to force yourself, right? And so for me personally, yeah, trying to use that time to turn inward and reflect and
how long are you gonna
recover.
fight it?
What's that?
How long are you gonna fight the season?
Yeah.
I think we live in a very yang society where shit's got to get done, and you got to plan your year, and you got to do all this stuff. Fuck that. You can still always do it on your own time.
That's right.
And how often, do you feel rushed?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's why I failed grade 1, but I think I'm a little bit slower than most, and it's not because.
Sorry, that is.
It's not that I'm fucking stupid, Jeff.
How do you fail? How do you fail grade 1?
Yo, I don't quite.
No
know.
offense, but is it possible to fail grade 1?
Oh yeah. I think it's actually one of the most common to fail. Actually,
Really?
Jeff. Yeah. They're just like.
Oh, this motherfucker. He can't go forward
how
yet.
This guy's growing. We're gonna set him back at the start, and then he'll be fine. And I still wasn't, but what I realized, and looking actually back at that, I'm glad I grew up with the people I grew up with, instead of potentially
the generation that grew
the generation above me. I think in a lot of ways, looking back at it, it saved me. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Destiny. Or I was just slow. I don't know, Jeff. But no, I'm just not quick to make a decision. I don't like people fucking rushing me, telling me like, you give me the right answer right now. I don't know. Not for me. Give me some time. Let me dream into it. Let me dance in the flowers and the outside. Like, I'm such a fucking butterfly that I don't subscribe to the quick action yang, yang, yang. I'm very not like that.
Yeah.
And I can't fight it any longer. I just got to be me.
So go back to failing grade 1.
Yeah, just take my time. Do it on my own time instead of constantly trying to please other people or jump on the bandwagon.
I think it's really good advice.
Fuck the bandwagon.
Burn the bandwagon.
Whenever a group of people walked one way, I was always walking the other way.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Be really comfortable with being different.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll never be yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a thought. I don't know if it's worth sharing or not. Dude, that's good reflection.
Yeah, from being slow to realizing you just got to be authentic.
But in seriousness, though, this is a good exercise in using discernment. It's like the big ass calendar is a very yang masculine thing. Check this off, dude. Because Jesse Itzler's, I love his messaging, and I think he's in his early 50s now, and he's very successful. So he has lots of resources. Like he's not doing his own laundry and he's not cooking his own food and all the things, right? He's got so
he's supportive.
Very supported, right? He might be a billionaire in his own or very close to it, and his wife definitely is a billionaire. So it's like they have every resource in the world to support their goals and ambitions and teams and strategies and all the things, right? And not that someone like you or I or anybody else can't maximize his intentions with the big ass calendar, but you also have to remember that life's just going to unfold, and like you just shared there, that might not serve you well. So using the discernment, like, that's just too yang for me. It's just, it doesn't align with you. Where if you were to force yourself to do that, you could potentially do more harm than good.
Yeah, I'm not against playing. Let's make the big ass calendar today. Like, I'll play. Let's play.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen. But if I'm not clear, I'm not gonna write something down and force like a triathlon out of myself.
Yeah.
That I'm not actually wanting to do.
Well, yeah, and from a business standpoint, when you're planning retreats and all the things you have to do, those are obvious. Like those have to be planned in advance.
Trip, something like that. Obviously, you got to carve out time.
Yeah.
Jess and I even thought we're carving out our time.
Yeah.
The days for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are pivotal and important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can flex.
Mm-hmm.
We're really good at flexing.
Yeah. I look forward to the day where Terry and I can get to a point where we can spontaneously travel or just go and do something. Like,
it's coming, baby. It's
well,
coming.
a few more years, but like one of the best trips we ever had, I don't know if it was our 10-year anniversary. Doesn't matter, but we went to New Brunswick because one of the girls we love to watch, Kelsey Ballerini, country singer.
Nice.
She was opening up a concert out there, and
Yeah.
We had nothing planned other than the tickets to go there.
Sweet.
And so we get in the plane and get there. I don't know if we had a fucking hotel. Yeah, I might have booked a hotel. But I had ideas of where we want to golf or something and whatever else. And so get off the plane and go get a rental vehicle, and turned out to be a brand new Jeep that like literally had maybe fucking 20 kilometers on it. Like, it was nothing.
Yeah.
This motherfucker was brand new.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so cool.
Oh, I love that.
So like to the point where, like, if we were to get a toy vehicle or something, like, fuck a sports car,
Yeah.
we'd get a Jeep.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Fuck.
So, but finding restaurants and, finding the golf course and just, let's go here, let's drive to PEI for the day. And it was probably one of the best trips we've ever had.
That's awesome.
And obviously the East Coast is so beautiful.
Never been?
I would love to go back and just tour around. Just fucking get a vehicle and just drive. Drive down side roads and drive down, all these different little villages and things like that. But yeah, no doubt there's certain trips you'll take that are not necessary to have plan and structure, but makes it a little more effective and efficient.
Yeah.
But if you can feel safe and go somewhere, spontaneity is pretty cool.
Oh, I love
Because you're just letting the universe just fill in the gap. So it's like, hey, what do you want us to do?
Yep. I love that. I don't want to be an over planner. I want to be spontaneous. That's just been my life.
Yeah. One of the greatest things from that trip too was like when we got to the concert, like it was an open field venue, and we didn't know what to expect, and so for some reason, like all the main parking lots were getting filled up. I said, oh fuck, there's some homeowners around the property that were renting out their space. So they go, I'll just take a drive. So anyway, go up to this person's house, and they were, call it renting parking or whatever, but selling parking, and you could overlook the whole entire venue. Like they were up on this hill.
Nice.
And so we just parked the Jeep, and it started raining and shit, and we had got a few beverages and stuff, and we just sat there and just waited and just chilled, and then when the time was right, we were able to just get out and then just walk down the hill to the venue. Anyway, reminiscing here a little bit.
It's beautiful.
Hey, I'm eating those little cookies.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Having a little snack.
The sun will shine again.
Putting a smile on my face. But yeah, there was a lot of spontaneity in that trip. A lot of just, and so I don't know, it was beautiful. Just let it all happen the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Sounds
like you need to mark one of those on your calendar.
Hey, that's a great
summer.
Yeah.
Spring, summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think I need to plan one of those trips too.
Yeah.
Costa Rica still feels a little bit like that for me. But
yeah.
Live a little.
Trips are important. Being able to find the time, the resources.
Stepping away from the reality of your life.
Yeah.
Go on an adventure with somebody. Someone you love. Or by yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm in the season of adventuring with the woman I love.
Oh.
All right, dude.
Quickly, any major goals for 2025? No.
I haven't. Well, something new for me is, I'm really stepping into one-on-one training again, and supporting clients and my business. Because what I realized in 2024 is I gave Everlove a lot of energy, and it was passion and purpose, and I loved it, and it growing the business wasn't as exciting for me as learning about the human body, physiology, and how to heal and go a little bit deeper in that. So I've chosen to go back and finish some more courses with Paul and deepen my knowledge of supporting people and healing, and that's my big goal, is to I already have a nice practice of clients, but want to grow it and support more people and through that deepen my knowledge of how to do that. So that's my big goal. Other than that, I'm sure I'll think of some other things, but as of right now, that's all that's in my mind. It's my main focus.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh. How about you?
Get through the year, survive, and step into the coaching. Step into that. We're going to execute on that. And I think if you and I both could, we've talked about it, but yeah, come together with some sort of community-based service, coaching container, mentorship container. I think that'd be pretty fun. So
fuck yeah. I'm stoked about that.
I'd like to see us do that. So for me, 2025 is about stepping into what scares me, and my unconscious conditioning. Like, it is so easy for me to get distracted with anything to do with golf, creating around that landscape, whatever it is, right? So I have to make sure that I do not get sucked into that vortex, sucked into those patterns, that habit of just going back to something that feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Or else who knows what that wake-up call is going to look like. But yeah, it's time, and need to be seen and fully express what's on my heart, what's on my mind, and
Yeah.
let her fly.
2025 is the year of doing more things that I love to do and enjoying life. That's what it's all about. Podcasts, group coaching with you.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That excites me.
The funny thing is, like, humans need an excuse to do something. We need permission, but we need a justification sometimes, and for whatever reason, we're conditioned to use the new year, but like, there's no reason why this same intention couldn't be applied June 5th, like on Wednesday or whatever date. It's like, why do we have to need the calendar to tell us how to feel or move, whatever? It's like, no, like,
News
we
is
should
great.
be able to begin again. We should be able to start something new whenever our heart desires, not, but for many of us, we need this excuse of a new year to, wipe the slate and, okay, let's start.
Well, New Year's is great and all, but I think when you grow, when you have the mindset of growth and participation, the New Year is happening almost every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got this content I want to share, and I think it's the metaphor of golf, and many times as a golfer, when you start a new round, you're excited. You're zero, like you're starting from scratch.
Mm.
But then there's the first hole, you hit a bad shot, and it's like the idea that you have to begin again every shot. You have to focus on the shot, not the hole. And so many of us can get so distracted, and some of us can lose the whole year because we're so focused on what we didn't accomplish. It's like, no, like, okay, say it's now it's March and you really haven't accomplished what you have, and you're dejected and you're like, oh fuck, what's the point? It's like, no, begin again.
Yeah, it's only the third hole.
Yeah, so when it comes to golf, it's like golf. The best players play each individual shot. They're not worried about the last one. They're not worried about the one to come. It's like it's that present in this moment.
Wow.
Right? And
man, if you could teach young golfers that from the start.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm trying to apply that to my life as well. I think there's a lot of similarities. So anyway. Well, dude, that was fun. Thanks. Nice to be back on the couch.
Fuck yeah, it's so good to be back.
Yeah. We'll do it again. I don't know. I kind of like it here. Do you think we'll go to the garage?
I fucking love it here, dude. I don't think so.
We already got a setup.
Yeah. No, it's great. I saw your employees use it the other day. Yo, let's just record.